Thank you very much, Sean. That's Sean Bennett on that guitar. We actually have more people in the room today. It's not like shooting a special from some kind of like, bomber's bunker or something, We're kind of getting a hold of our stage craft here. Welcome to the show. If you're watching this when it airs on Longmont Public Media on the television, then I suppose it's time for me to be like, wake up, Nana. Wake up, Nana. You left the TV on, You should probably go back in the other room, get your blanket and go to sleep. But leave the TV on, we could fucking use the views. But this show's not for you. You should go to bed. Quick disclaimer, of course, anything that I say on the show or any of my guests does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any advertiser that may be on this show. They probably agree with me, but they probably would say motherfucker like way less. So we release them of responsibility from what I say. Notes from the last show. My hand, I'm going to have surgery on it next week, looks like. That's why we have Sean here playing guitar, because I cannot play guitar. And maybe, if I get my surgery and do real well, maybe I'll return to being a lower mid-level guitar player again. That's Kurt and Sean over here in the laughter crew. We need like a name for the laughter guys, right? This Kurt and Sean, my friends who laugh whenever I point at them. Ready for this? It's so good. Fuck, it's so good. I want to bring them on all my first dates. They're so good to me. But we need a name for that crew. It's mostly been, so far, it's just white men approving of other white men, which is like, whatever, welcome to Boulder County, right? But we need like a name for you guys. And we need maybe to get us like a female person to be in the laugh crew as well. We'll think about that. For now, we'll call them like the Peanut Gallery, or just the Nut Gallery, because it's just you guys. Another note from last show, I accidentally ended up doing a Jay Leno impression. I wanted to publicly apologize for that. There was other dickish behavior that came out in the last episode, but mostly the Leno impression I'm here to apologize about. Although I do want to get better at that impression, because I feel like I was kicking dicks in on that impression. Don't you feel like, Kurt, you were here? I was really doing well. And I kind of giving it one of these or whatever. I feel like I want to do impressions for this show. And the Jay Leno thing is going to be my first attempt, right? So it's like, this is my Jay Leno. I kind of, hey, have you heard about this news about it? I feel like it's best if you don't even speak real words. If you just what's So I want to dial in that Jay Leno impression to just one word. And this is me attempting that for you today. This is Jay Leno responding to the phone call where he found out his dog was just hit by a car. Ready? No. That's my Jay Leno finding out his dog was just hit by a car. It is a little morose, but also still upbeat somehow. It's the Leno way. What a piece of shit. No, we don't hate Jay Leno. Why is everybody always picking on Jay Leno? I'm such a nice guy. I wear so much denim. How could a mean guy ever wear so much denim? It's impossible. Jay Leno, come down to Walgreens and buy my new denim condoms. It's like a good Jay Leno impression. I feel like I'm getting better at it as we play with it, but I'm going to drop it now. I'm sorry about all this. Let's see. Today, our guest is the mayor of Longmont, Mr. Brian Bagley, friend of the show. We like Brian. We've been sort of friends with Brian since he was a city council person. He's a Republican on the ticket, but he's what I like to call a hands down Republican, as opposed to a hands up. You know what I'm fucking saying? He's he's Republican, not Republican. And that needs to be fucking pointed out nowadays, because those little differentiations turn out to matter. He's one of the nice guys. We like him. One thing we don't like, and one point of contention, long-standing point of contention between Mayor Bagley and myself, has been the issue that we're going to have to talk about a lot on this particular monologue. And it's an issue that I actually challenged Mr. Bagley to a public debate on a few years ago. which we didn't end up following through with that debate. He had to like take his kid to college or some fucking bullshit. Whatever. We released him, he's a good man, but he didn't debate us on this topic, and we needed it. Because the topic was, what is better, Star Wars or Star Trek? Now, I know what you're thinking. How could there ever be a debate on that? Because the answer is obviously Star Trek is a better franchise in every way. And let me break down for you why you're right. Hey, Grandma, are you still awake? Jesus Christ, go to bed. You're not even going to understand this. All right, what I'm going to do now is talk a little bit about what I would love to have rubbed Brian's fucking nose in that night in that debate with my amazing points. I want to skim through them because this is not a full shitting out of all the things I have to say about that franchise. But first, I want to just talk about some simple, basic things about the fucking universes, right? Star Wars and Star Trek. The simplest way to show the difference between these two franchises is their weaponry, okay? Star Trek, what's like the famous, anybody? The phaser? We're aware of the phaser from Star Trek, named after, of course, how the weapon functions. It's a scientific, mind-forward show, the phaser. And in Star Wars, what's their famous gun? The blaster, named after the fucking sound the gun makes. You know what I'm saying? The guys in Star Trek might as well, like, you know, they've got like a textbook to explain why their fucking gun is called what its gun is called or whatever. And the fucking Star Wars guys, who might as well call their guns the pew-pews or whatever. It's exactly the same thing. Another thing, of course, the ships in the show. Most famous ship, I guess, from Star Wars, Millennium Falcon. It's a fucking piece of shit. And not particularly fast. And like, people brag about being able to fly it well, but it's only because it's so poorly made that it takes like a skilled person to even get basic results out of it. Whereas like in Star Trek, we got a whole crew. We got like, we're always pushing it to the max and getting great results or whatever. Star Wars, their ships are named after like, oh, it's an X-Wing because it's shaped like an X. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a lesser fucking franchise in every way. Who are the fucking, like, another thing about the fucking weapons, matter of fact. In Star Trek, right, we got the phasers. We have a stun setting because we, as the good guys, recognize killing isn't always automatically the right answer. Who are the good guys in the fucking Star Wars universe? Oh, the Jedi. What's their weapon? The fucking laser sword. It looks like a stun baton, but there's no stun setting. Because the only way the Jedi solve their problems is by attacking government installations. That's because the Jedi are a fanatical religious group attacking government installations instead of working within the system to change the empire. They're just blowing up government installations. They're fucking space ISIS. The Jedi are space ISIS. And like the Empire is completely inept. Star Trek is what would happen if like the Empire in Star Wars was actually run well and by good people or whatever. It's the Federation of planets in Star Trek. It's like the positive future of the world. Star Wars is, of course, focused on war. There is no other answer than war. There's never anybody coming out being like, maybe cool we should be or whatever. Nobody's fucking saying that. You know what I mean? It's because they care so little about peace in Star Wars. And then like the fucking movies fucking suck. George Lucas, you know, how many good Star Wars movies are there? There are like 2, the first 2. And then the more influence George Lucas has, the worse the movies get. Right now, how many good Star Trek movies are? Famously, every other Star Trek movie is not so great, okay? But there are fucking 13 Star Trek movies. So that gives us, what's that? 6.5 good movies versus fucking 2 in the Star Wars franchise. You got New Hope, you got Strikes Back, that's awesome. Then you start like, we have a green lightsaber in the next one. Go fuck yourselves, you know what I mean? And your bears or whatever, you know? God damn it. It's like we have Wrath of Khan on our side. You know, that's like space Shakespeare. That's like Terminator 2 in space. That's how good it is, you know? And the best thing fucking Star Wars is doing, they're like, big blue bomb, a little gold robot and shit. Don't you feel bad for me? I'm in an abusive relationship with humanity. All of the fucking sentient robots in Star Wars are in an abusive relationship with all the meat people. Have you noticed that? Everybody is a bad guy in that fucking show. I'm not doing this. This is happening in the franchise. You know what I'm saying? It's really not my fault. George Lucas is a terrible filmmaker. He's never made one good movie as far as I'm concerned. I know what you're thinking. Oh, Indiana Jones or whatever. No, because he's partnered with Steven Spielberg on that fucking franchise. And that's not fair because Steven Spielberg is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. And he carried George's fat ass through those movies. You know it. I know it. Bagley knows it. It's true. I'm not paying them to laugh on that one. Did you notice I didn't have to point at them? That's because the fucking truth comes out. George Lucas is a terrible filmmaker. So bad he should be in no way associated with filmmaking. He's like, he is to filmmaking what Anne Frank is to tap dancing, except Anne Frank wasn't allowed to tap dance. You know what I'm saying? The same relationship. Shouldn't be associated at all with that fucking thing. George Lucas, worst filmmaker alive. And the more movies he makes, the more he proves it. And I know when we're going to come out and be like, oh, The Mandalorian's a good cowboy movie. Yeah, but like we have cowboy movies, motherfuckers. You can't redress your thing as something else. Oh, it's a space opera. No, now we kick the door open at the saloon and I'm a fucking pew-pew cowboy or whatever. This is a ridiculous franchise. I don't feel bad about hating Star Wars. I want to release you from any guilt that you have for hating Star Wars. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I have a lot more to say, obviously, because, God, I think I've burnt through a few minutes just kicking its dick in. It's just a real little dick, real easy to kick in. Stupid franchise. You know, it's not like talking about Batman or something. It has like a lot of good movies and some stinkers, you know, whatever. We had bat nipples, so there's some darkness on the Batman franchise. But that's a way better franchise than Star Wars as well. Just some thoughts, just some friendly fucking shots across the bow from my friend Brian over there. Which, of course, we won't take much time to discuss it when he actually joins us on the show because we'll have questions about like real life or whatever. So I'm sure that we won't, unfortunately, get a chance to hear Brian's rebuttal to all this. But the short version of it is Star Wars can suck it. You know. This episode has been brought to you by 300 Suns Brewing. Have you ever been down to 300 Suns Brewing, my friends? Tell you what they don't do. They don't show any fucking Star Wars movies down there. They are and in case you don't know this, we're in Longmont, Colorado, and we're going to be kind of pointing to some local businesses or whatever for this show because, like, we love our community, and that's the reason we're doing this show in the first place. So, 300 Suns is a hyper-local craft brewery. They also have not only a wide variety of delicious beers, the Captain Long, the Blue Corn Cream Ale, go fuck yourself. That's a wonderful beer. And like that Blue Corn Cream Ale, and I'm going to go off script, of course, because I live off of script. But like when I first got a glass of that, I was kind of just like curious because these are my friends for a long time, known them since they started the business. And like I'd already had like one of their salted toffee earlier in the day, which is a fucking monster beer as well. But I ordered the Blue Corn Cream because I thought like, oh, that'd be like a nice light blah, blah. It fucking knocked my dick off. It was like the sweetness, the creaminess. I recommend it completely. If you're a beer drinker, this is big news for you in your life. If you haven't gone to 300 Suns, what your therapist might say is like you're refusing to live your best life. And I want to release you from that kind of thinking. If alcohol is not your thing, they also have house-made root beer. Oh, God, they also do cocktails and ciders. And goddamn, if you had the burgers over there, you'll notice there's no laughter when I say that shit because that's stone cold truth that like hits in the deep part of your stomach, you know? That's like that burger, they've got like poutine. They do like this big ass cheeseburger that like it should kill you. You look at it and you think like I'm gonna probably die of a cheeseburger today, but instead you're lifted up on wings of angels and carried to the ample breast of the universe, where you will suckle Blue Corn Cream Ale. They also do poutine. They do the Nashville hot chicken sandwich. Rumor has it. Rumors? It's a rumor alert. You know, everybody relax, but this may be true. rumor has it that the Times Call is about to release their Reader's Choice Awards for the year, and our local companies all care about that, of course, because like it tells you who in the community, what the numbers look like, and it's always like something that I look forward to reading in the Times Call, and I think they're about to get 300 Suns listed as the best restaurant/pub/brewery in Longmont. Restaurant/pub/brewery. It's a lot of fucking slashes. Not for nothing. You think these slashes are easy to achieve? They're not. Like this is a show that is about an idiot and interviewing. There's like a little slash in there. We earned both of those real hard. You know what I mean? Slashes are not easy to come by. 355 First Avenue, Unit C in Longmont, or 300sunsbrewing.com. If you hate yourself, don't bother. But if you love yourself and you're like a great American, like I am, like anybody in this room, of course, would be, then you're happy to go down to 300 Suns, get yourself a root beer and a fucking cheeseburger that'll change your life. Of course you will, because you're a good person. My guest tonight is Mayor Brian Bagley. Now, Mr. Bagley is a well-beloved member of our community. He's been mayor for a bit now, but he's not running again. Apparently there's a big election coming up, and we're going to try and cover it on this show. He's not going to be mayor again because I think it's been decided that he's too tall for the job. He's a very tall man. And he's been the sitting mayor for a while now, but it's looked like he's been standing the whole time. He's very tall. That's what I mean to say. He's a very tall man. When I first met Mr. Bagley, he's so tall. How tall is he?
How tall is he?
I'll tell you how tall he is. He's so tall that when I first met him, I thought he had dandruff on his shoulders, but it turned out to just be frozen hikers that didn't make it to the summit. He's a very tall man. What I mean to say, he's a very tall man. He's a very athletic guy. He's a swimmer. He swims laps at the pool. He was telling me about the high number of laps he swam at the pool. That's very impressive, I think. But he's a very tall man. So I think like when he dives into the water, he immediately hits his head on the other side. So the laps aren't really as impressive. He's a very tall man. That's what I mean to say. If you're home now and you want to put your hands together, this would be the time. Please put your hands together for our friend, Mr. Brian Bagley. Brian, would you please join me? Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Thank you, Andy. Nana, you can wake up now.
No, don't you listen to
You
this
can wake
man.
up. Did this boring monologue? You can wake up now.
Don't you listen to
now
this
we're
man.
going to talk about some real topics.
Join us. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Apple.
It's just a deep pleasure to have you, sir. So, Mr. Bagley,
You can call me Brian.
may I?
That's your name.
I hate to just be assuming on TV or whatever.
No, assume away.
Okay, I will. Brian, baby. I know that there's an election coming up, and that makes me curious, about who's running, what the issues are with these things. But my real first question, sir, is like, the way I see it, when you run for mayor, your best outcome is you get elected and immediately half the public hates you. And then the other half won't give you credit for what you're actually doing.
It's pretty close.
And then no matter what you do, you're just sort of fucked and you don't get paid well. And then at the end, you're like maybe like a husk of a person.
Thanks for inviting me on the show. That's been that's been Andy Epler, whatever the hell this show is, with Brian Bagley. I think he nailed it right on the nose, bud.
Brian,
right on the nose.
Like, I know that it's a tough job to be in public service, and thank you for doing what you've done in our community. I appreciate the work that you did. Who the fuck would want this job?
So let me put it in perspective.
Please.
Okay, so I am not running again in November.
Uh-huh.
I will never run again for another public office,
Mm-hmm.
ever.
Uh-huh.
So I was on a team that wrote a New York Times bestseller, the best-selling hardback business book of all time, called "Good to Great: Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't." It was published in 2001.
Okay.
Right. It is. They call it the Red Bible in the business world. I was the senior researcher on that. There were a couple dozen of us. Jim Collins was the author. He funded it. He was the brain behind the project. That entire project was researched in the library 20 years ago. The best-selling research hardback business book of all time. The research was conducted by hand. Okay.
Wow.
So, which means that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. The internet was not utilized in that project.
Yeah, it was all like chat rooms and porn.
Yeah. Not even that. Not even, I mean, there were no chat rooms. It was just kind of late 90s coming about, right?
Oh, I see.
So approximately half the time I've been on city council or mayor. I've been mayor for 6 years. Before that, I was on city council. For 10 years, I have offered public service to the city. So 10 years out of 20.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm only going to be 50 next year.
And
20
you look great.
Thank
Doesn't
you.
he look great?
20% of my life has been this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I was joking, but you pretty much said it spot on. You've got 80, I don't want to lecture anyone, but because I was one of those people before I ran for public office. 20%, 80%, 90% maybe, just they don't even know who the mayor and their city council representatives are.
Yeah.
The remaining 5 to 10% are supportive, but are aware, but they don't do anything.
Yeah.
And then the other 5 or 10% are just complete and total jerks. They don't agree with you, so they see you as evil and as the enemy.
Right.
And most public servants, at least at a local level, just want to help.
Right. Yes.
And
there's not like enough money in it to be crooked.
City councilman gets $1,000 a month. Mayor gets $1,500. I've got my real job is I'm a law firm. I've got 24 employees, 2 offices. So whenever I hear people, oh, you're in the pockets of, ooh, yeah, I want that $250 donation from that developer. Oh, yeah. Licking my chops. Yeah, you give me the campaign money right now, that $250 and all.
Rolling it in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cash it in nickels and roll it.
And so I just reached a point where it's like, it's time for someone else to do the job.
Yeah. And
I don't have the patience for it anymore. I'm very grateful for the opportunity and those who supported me and hated me or just endured me. I'm very grateful for this experience. It was a great honor, but
I think you did it in a noble way.
But it's at the end of the day, if you look at, we're just a very tribalistic society, and where if you're either team red or team blue, Bloods and Crips, literally.
Yeah.
I don't care whether you're inner city or whether you follow national politics. You just hate the other color. Why?
Yeah.
Because the world sucks. We're unhappy with our lives, and we need to root for somebody. Whether it's
basic tribalism.
Blue, red, Cowboys, Broncos, and you're just like, man, we just got to fix our sewer system.
Yeah. We
just got to fix the potholes. And I spent, I'd say 80% of my time just trying to figure out how to keep the 5 to 10% of the jerks away so I could actually do something. And everyone always assumes that you're looking for higher office or looking for more power or and you're just like, shut up.
I would imagine it only gets worse the higher up you go.
No, and so it's like, can you name one national, and I can tell you right now, I've never wanted to run for higher office. Name one national or state politician that everybody just goes, you know what? That's a pretty cool guy or a pretty cool gal.
Yeah, that
no
doesn't
one.
happen.
No one.
No.
And so it's like,
do you think it's because America is so sports centered that we take that same mentality and bring it into politics? It's easier to think that way about politics.
No, I think that people are fundamentally, again, my style is to offend everyone.
Sure.
So I think that people are fundamentally too lazy to actually care. And I think that there's 4 types of people, at least as far as in the political spectrum. I've heard it said that you've got your non-thinking conservatives, your thinking conservatives, your thinking Democrats or progressives, and your non-thinking progressives.
That seems
right?
fair. Yeah.
And unfortunately, the people crazy enough to get out and knock doors and show up to city council meetings are the extremes. In Longmont, over the last 10 years, you used to have both extremes. Now we just have the crazy wacko liberals. And so, and by the way, you made a mistake. I'm not a Republican.
Oh, I thought you were on the ticket.
No, I'm unaffiliated.
More of a libertarian, I suppose.
I'm definitely libertarian.
Yeah.
Social progressive, fiscal conservative, which means that everyone hates me. No one knows what to make of me. I'm an issues guy. Yeah. And on Monday, if I'm voting yes on your issue, boy, I'm great. If on Friday I'm voting no on your issue, I'm just Satan himself.
Yeah. But we loved my hands up, hands down Republican joke.
Oh, I was the back. I was chuckling.
You're not responsible for it, but it is hilarious.
You know, bite my tongue on all your Star Wars crap.
Very
I
fair.
will just.
It's very fair. And maybe we'll find time for that. Maybe we'll get a special together once your life calms down a little bit.
No, I will give it to you because it's your show.
Yeah, of course.
It's
And
your
that's
show.
very kind of you. Thank you very much for and like I won't require you to be like, please, just forgive me for being so wrong all these years because I love you. You're a good man.
Hey, Bill O'Reilly, this is how he started. That's great. I see your future. This is great.
I would love that.
Because we already know it's not Jay Leno, so it's got to be the
not
other
Jay
way.
Leno. And frankly, I'd rather end up with a Bill O'Reilly outcome than a Jay Leno outcome because there are people that still like Bill O'Reilly. Just want to like walk on my like little porch in Nantucket or whatever with my book that I had someone else write about killing Jesus or something. I would never write a book called Killing Jesus, by the way. You know? I don't know what you think of my own politics and religious affiliations, whatnot. Even I'm not trying to kill Jesus. Bill, Jesus Christ. So, Brian.
Yes.
We're coming into like an election.
Yeah.
What issues should I be concerned about in Longmont that I don't know to be concerned about? Which could be goddamn anything.
Right. So I wrote. I mean, again, just I think there's political. There's substantive issues. There's political issues, and then there's just crap going on that you need to be aware about.
Yeah.
This town is controlled by those people who are willing to show up to council, knock doors, or send in letters to the editor. So getting elected is all about name recognition. So you've got a very small group of people that understand that, and so their voice is loudest, everybody hears, and then they vote the way that they say they should vote. And that's dangerous because you're having decisions made by non-elected people telling your elected officials what to do. Whether they're some of them follow exactly what they're told, others are just scared to vote against what those people say, and other people spend most of their time arguing with them. It's just not productive. So that is an issue, but it won't show up on the
small town, good old boy shit. Right?
Good small town, good old.
That's why we started this show.
You know
that effect.
You know, then you get, but I think that then you've got other issues that you know, I mean, just to be completely controversial. So one of the first things I did when I was mayor was I issued a mayoral proclamation saying that I was committed to 100% renewable energy by 2030. A week or two later, City Council made my proclamation a resolution. I sit on as mayor, the next mayor, whoever's mayor, sits on basically the power utility board, right? So we get a voice in those kind of decisions. And climate change is real, but unfortunately a lot of people look at Longmont in this bubble, or Northern Colorado in this bubble, and they make decisions that have adverse impacts on poor, adverse impacts on the city budget, all in the name of championing climate change. But there's really only, I mean, I never hear anybody advocating climate change ride their bike to the meeting, right? So we're in the middle of a climate emergency, which I agree with.
Yeah.
I mean, if my house were on fire, I'd get my butt out and go outside.
Yeah.
Or I'd grab a garden hose.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sit there at a dais or at some meeting talking about, oh my gosh, our house is on fire.
Yeah.
Call 911, grab a bucket.
Yeah.
If it's really as bad as people say, which I believe it is, grab a bucket.
Yeah.
And nobody's grabbing a bucket. All they do is yell and scream and talk about. It's like the Republicans. So it's like if there's a meteor headed towards Earth.
Okay.
Right. The Republicans are going to, the Democrats are going to point at it and say, "Oh my gosh, it's going to kill us," and the Republicans don't care, and they're not putting the necessary technology and dollars towards addressing the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Republicans are going to be saying, "Nothing we can do about it.
Let the market fix it.
Let the market fix it." But in the end, the asteroid's going to hit us. And so what people need to do in this particular situation, stop having more kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you really want to know the climate solution? Just being totally honest, stop having kids, which I think is laughable considering we're trying
less meat.
And if you want
make less meat.
And you want to hear something that's completely over the top, not going to vote for that guy. Why are we fighting COVID?
Why are we fighting COVID?
I mean, Thanos had something, man. Snap the fingers, get rid of half of us. I mean, I'm being facetious, but you cannot continue to procreate more and more and more and consume and consume and consume and think somehow that people are going to go, you know what? I think I'm going to start walking 4 miles to work. Or, I mean, when we have a bike to work lifetime, we're going to make a difference. A bike to work day every year isn't. And so it's like, I guess part of the reason you can tell I'm a little jaded. It's like you spend so much time trying to placate people that want you to do this value signaling or this just show that you care, but really aren't making much of a difference. And the main reason I'm not running again, in all seriousness, is I believe I've reached a point where I can't make much of a difference. I do things where I think I can make a difference. When I first ran, I wanted a movie theater. You know, got a movie theater. You know, I wanted to see affordable housing. I wanted to see our downtown begin to thrive a little bit more. It was empty back then. I wanted to see, I wanted to see all kinds of good stuff happen for Longmont, right? Yeah. Now the things we're dealing with, it's so ethereal and ideological that it's like, you guys can talk about that every Tuesday. I got a million other things to do. So.
I thought it was of course a historic time with the COVID that came fucking through our community. It changed a lot about our community. I'm glad that we're fighting it. I'm glad that we'll probably end up still fight it.
As am I.
Yeah,
I was being sarcastic that
I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, everybody always. My point is, people show up on Monday and say, "We need more apartments." So city council, oh sure, we'll give you more apartments. Yeah. Then on Friday, somebody shows up and says, traffic is terrible. No more apartments. Yeah. It just depends on who's there that day. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, just stick to your guns.
But they come back, they'll be like, hey, we do have these apartments, but they're like $2,000 for a studio apartment. Go fuck yourself. You know. Was one thing I was talking to Caitlin Cannon on the last episode. Caitlin Rocket. My friend's confused when they have similar names. Caitlin Rocket from Boulder Weekly last week, we were talking about the homelessness issue in Boulder. And I know that we deal with that in Longmont as well. In Boulder, it seems particularly cruel and strange, the way they're moving through that. In Longmont, I know we have different answers, and we have something called the core team, where we can send, people to fix problems without a gun. Turns out that is useful as fuck. And I think like when people talk about like defund the police.
By the way, can I just say that I mean I do like his use of just the fourth wall. Yeah. I feel like I'm here with Ryan Reynolds.
The most fuckable man in America right now, Ryan Reynolds. You just put me at 2. But the core team is like a good example of what I mean when I say defund the police, because what I mean, of course, is reallocate police funding to reflect what the community actually needs. Because we have these people that are homeless in our community or not mentally well, just trying to get by, right? Trying to find a place to sleep for the night. Right. They don't need some motherfucker with a gun to come take their blanket and kick them out of town. Right. But that's what's happening in Boulder.
But let me give you an example,
please.
Right? So let me give you an example. So an example that kind of merges the two, my point in what you just said. Please. So on Monday, we'll have people come in and say, oh my gosh, Mayor Bagley, City Council, we have homeless people in RVs parking in front of our houses and emptying their toilets all over the street. And we I mean, how many people here want feces and urine all over the street?
That's a real problem.
Right? So what do? We pass an ordinance. We pass an ordinance that says you can no longer park your RV on the street. You can park it when you're loading or unloading, or you can go get a permit from the city, and like up to 3 a year, and park it for like a week at a time, so like 3 weeks total, in order to force people into RV locations, so that we do not have a public health crisis, that we do not have angry constituents, that we keep Longmont pretty, whatever. Friday comes along, somebody shows up. This just happened. A gentleman showed up on last Tuesday night. And so Monday and Friday are symbolic, by the way.
Yes, I see.
Yes, and so
we understand symbolism.
Yes. So Tuesday he showed up and basically had 40 tickets of him getting ticketed for having an RV and sleeping in an RV and parking on the street. Yeah. And immediately people were in an uproar and council, oh, what are we going to do about this? I'm like, pick one. You cannot have both. You can figure out a solution that will try to make everybody happy, but it's exhausting.
I'm sure that's exhausting.
It is exhausting. So going back to the homeless,
Yes.
right? So if you were to talk to Mike Butler, who used to be our public safety chief.
Yeah, I know Mike.
So Chief Butler would have said, a lot of the very things that we provide by way of charity are bringing people here. If you're down in Florida and you're talking to a guy who used to, going up to Longmont, say, yeah, I was up in Longmont. They got free food, free tents. They have 30 different churches all willing to give us sleeping bags and tents. Well, what our police would do, they'd go up and down the St. Vrain River clearing out the camps. They were camps that were abandoned, clothes, sleeping bags, and tents, because the homeless essentially knew they could go and get more tomorrow. Why would I roll up my sleeping bag? Why would I roll up my tent? And so it's not, so yeah, people need a place to stay.
Yeah.
But similarly, okay, you're down at Roosevelt Park, you have a bunch of people camping out there. And yeah, I'm with you. You need a place to stay. Mental illness, substance abuse, poverty. Most people end up homeless due to.
Most people I know could barely afford rent, and they work 2 jobs,
So here's a stat. Over 54% of the people in Longmont are paying over 30% of their income to the rent.
That sounds true as fuck.
Right?
Yeah.
And so the question becomes, at what point do we have people left over who are capable of helping? Mm-hmm. It's like so many people are in the same boat. So you have the people around Roosevelt Park saying, they're loud. There is a criminal element that does come with homelessness. When Mayor Coombs, the mayor before me, was mayor, I was his mayor pro tem, and he left town for like 3 days. And we had like four stabbings of homeless people, on homeless violence, right? And so, and so he used to joke with me that, I'm the king of stabbings. You can't leave town for 2 seconds without something happening.
But you've done very well over the last 4 years. We don't get 3 stabbings a day.
Yeah, not 3 stabbings a day. It's gone down. But my point is that
we call that the Bagley portion.
The Bagley portion. No, but you've got all these problems that you've got to deal with. It's not simply a matter of get rid of the homeless, or cut off the charity, or it's a lot more delicate than that.
I think that if we show up to that problem too late in the problem, we can't even see what the real issue was. And the real issue for homelessness is affordable housing.
Yes and no.
I
believe it starts even earlier. Part of the reason why I wanted to do the mayor's early childhood education initiative, to make sure that every child in Longmont gets a high quality preschool education, which turned into daycare.
Yeah.
Right. But really, what it says is, if you really want to make a difference, get every kid a great education as early as possible. That will have a bigger impact in 20 to 40 years on your homeless population, on your income level, on your who can afford housing. Everything is impacted by that.
That's true.
And so, but again, affordable housing. Even if we were to, there's 2 types of affordable housing. There's subsidized affordable housing, right? In other words, we're going to give you money to help you out with rent. Mm-hmm. And there's also just, is typical rent affordable?
Right.
I can just like climate change, I can fix the housing crisis in Longmont. Elect me in November, and I will make it so everyone has affordable housing, meaning without subsidization, you too can get affordable housing. I'm just going to make Longmont ugly, horrible. Mm-hmm. Longmont is going to be an ugly, horrible place to live. It's going to be dirty and crime-ridden. No one will want to live here. Will be Detroit. You'll be able to rent a place. No, you'll be able to buy a home for $800.
That's a great deal for a home.
So the kicker is, the better the place, the better the community, the more people want to live here. And we can only have 100 to 120,000 people living here. It's like Beverly Hills. You belong in Longmont. Yeah, you also belong in Beverly Hills. Do you want to go to Beverly Hills? Are you going to show up to Beverly Hills and go, I demand to live here?
No.
Pick a spot in the park, bud.
Yeah.
So it's never going to be affordable so long. Now, again, I'm speaking tongue in cheek here.
Right? I think we're on the same page.
So it's never going to be affordable so long as we continue to make Longmont a great place to live. Then it even gets worse when you limit the supply. No longer going to build housing or apartments. We're going to start building and grabbing up the local developable land by way of conservation easements or or open space. And so that has a problem. Now, as far as subsidized housing goes, it's like there's not enough. I mean, if I were to sell my home, okay, let's suppose it's worth $500,000. I say, I'm going to sell my home for $100,000. How many people am I going to have wanting to get in?
No, a million billion people.
Correct.
Right?
8 billion.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's going to say, I want a quick 400,000 because
Sure.
it's below market value.
Of course.
So you have got people in line. You've got hundreds of people on a wait list for subsidized affordable housing. They've been waiting for years. The wait list is opened every couple of years, and then you get on and you hope you get a spot. There's just not enough. And even if we were to triple it, it's still not enough.
I wonder though, because when I first moved here, a 2-bedroom apartment that I rented back in 2009 was $850 a month.
Mhm.
It's twice that now.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And what I see from my vantage point in the community is I see the people that actually create the culture that everybody else appreciates.
Mhm.
That is largely the poorer people in your community. You got artists, you got craftspeople. That those people will be fleshed out of this community if these prices stay like this.
So-
and I don't think that the answer is educating the kids, because you can have a real smart kid with straight A's, but if they're sleeping in the fucking street, getting kicked
amen.
out of the park by the
Amen.
goddamn police,
Amen.
that don't help.
So right now, one of the issues, so dovetailing into your question, one of the big issues is growth or no growth, right?
Yeah.
It's, again, people separate into these two, blue versus red.
As
right?
if
These
balance
tribes.
wasn't the answer.
Right, but right now, if Longmont says we're not going to grow anymore, your housing prices are going to increase because now we're going to have higher property taxes, gentrification. Your elderly won't be able to afford their property taxes,
That's right.
so they're gone.
Yep.
28% of Longmont is Latino, many of them first and second generation immigrants.
Yes.
On the lower side of the income scale,
Yep.
so all of a sudden they're pushed out.
That's right.
You know, so you're looking at all, and then the mentally ill. You've got a lot of issues, and I find it reprehensible that the very people that will champion things like, you know, equality and equity, you know, and standing up for the little guy, you know, liberals that don't think, right, will often say, let's don't grow anymore. And then they champion that issue and then get the support of the very people that you mentioned that are going to pay and suffer the price. So again, I am floored at Longmont's politics, meaning I don't want to do it anymore. I can't make a difference anymore because it's no longer making any sense. And so many people have thrown up their hands and said, I'm out. You know, I finally was like, I'll get the lights. I'll get the lights. You know, and I'm speaking tongue in cheek because we have some great candidates.
Yes,
right?
of
We have
course.
some great candidates.
We have some good people that want to help.
And we have everybody on council, no matter which one of those 4 categories they fall into, for the most part, they all want to do good. You know, they want to do good.
Yes, we believe that on this fucking show.
Yes, they want to do good. And so I just wish that people in the public domain would become more educated and get more involved. I don't care whether it's writing a check to your candidate or reading the local paper or the Longmont public media. Just get involved, be knowledgeable what's going on, because I guarantee you, you know, Joe Biden and Donald Trump have a far less of an impact on your life than those 7 people sitting in your local council.
That's right. And that's a lot of why we wanted to do this show, just to kind of get our local community servants out in front of our people in a non-combative, not poisonous atmosphere.
And not only that,
Unless you're a Star Wars fan. Then go fuck
That's,
yourself.
yes, exactly. No, and the thing is, and again, I'm not running it yet.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people might hear me talk. Oh God, what a bitter guy! I'm not being bitter. I'm a realist.
Yeah. I
Just a
appreciate your
realist.
candor.
You know.
I wonder, and this I guess more of a philosophical question. I wonder when, for us in this community, growth quit being attached to quality of life for our average citizens. When you talk about it, 40% of the people spend more than 30% on their rent, that's fucked up.
54%.
Okay, so it's way out of
No,
balance.
way more than half. You
So
know that.
who's actually growing? Who's doing better?
What do you
Some
mean?
small group
Oh,
of
no,
motherfuckers?
No. So it's not.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
When you say like we need to choose between growth or stagnation,
No, I'm not. I'm arguing there should be a balance.
I'm arguing there should be a balance as well. I'm concerned that when we talk about growth, we specifically mean economic growth. And that is only a piece of what makes a good place to live.
I'm talking about in the sense of growth, number of houses,
Yes.
right? So I had an econ professor. When I took Econ 101 back in college, my freshman year, he always said, you can always explain economics in cornflakes and milk, right?
Okay.
And so if we've got 20 gallons of milk here and one package of cornflakes, and we both want a bowl of cornflakes, and there's only enough for one of us, right? I mean, I want it and you want it, and it's the only food available, how much are you willing to pay for that milk versus the cornflakes?
Mm-hmm.
So the fewer houses we have, the people with money, and you go, oh yeah, those rich developers and those rich, no, people in California and in other places that have, benefited from their own growth issues, sell their house, have a couple $1 million after they sell their 2-bedroom, deplorable home, come out here, buy one for $1 million, have $1 million left over.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to increase your housing stock.
Yes.
Then the question becomes, yeah, but that's going to make Longmont not feel like Longmont. True.
That's what fucking happens to a town over time.
That's as long as you have people wanting to move here, you're going to have to. You're going to have increased prices, and the only way to fix that is increase the supply. Because if you have 200,000 people wanting to move here, but you had 2 billion houses in Longmont, you can go to Beijing or Dubai. They've got empty apartment buildings.
And my conservative mind looks at that and says like, oh, that's a money-making opportunity. I can build lots of like affordable housing, and all of a sudden I'm the biggest motherfucker in town. Because when I moved here in 2009, the reason I chose Longmont was because Boulder was refusing to grow up or out.
Right.
And that economic pressure I felt was going to spew into Longmont. And lo and behold, it did over the last 10 years.
I graduated law school in MBA school back in 1999, and I moved to Longmont because I couldn't afford Boulder.
Yes.
My daughter does not live in Longmont. You know why?
Yes, because it's crazy expensive.
She can't afford to live here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I grew up in Greeley, went to grad school in Boulder, but I chose Longmont because, well, it was a good town and it was affordable. And so there was an old, again, kind of a common theme, I guess, of what I'm saying is there was an old story about these college guys being a musical artist. You understand? They needed a piano. They wanted to practice for their jazz group.
Sure.
So they had this large, cheap, beautiful piano. Okay. Beautiful. They had to get it inside. They got to go up the little steps, through the door, put it in the little living room.
Piano sucks.
It sucks. And so they couldn't figure it out. And after just a few minutes of struggling, one of them says, just shut up, stop. Everybody just lift where you stand. They just lifted it and took it in, right? Everyone needs to lift where they stand. Everyone's
like your analogy.
And everybody is arguing about, well, you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to stop driving, and you need to decrease your carbon emissions, and you need to stop developing, and you need to stop building. Just lift where you stand. That's it. And do the best you can.
Yeah, I agree with all those things. Everybody should be trying to curb how they affect the world. I think that's a libertarian idea too, because everybody's responsibility is to take up what the government's not doing. That's kind of the idea.
And again, you can't just put a mandate on don't have kids.
No,
but I'm just saying that we just spend so much time arguing amongst ourselves and ignoring the real issues that I'm just floored. And I have a lot. I do think that it's gotten worse because of Donald Trump. I do. I am not a Trumper. No. I never said anything for or against him. Just it was an interesting moment in our nation's history. But I think that everyone is suffering from everyone, whether you loved him or hated him. Everyone's suffering from PTSD.
That's right.
Either you heard what he had to say and you couldn't stand it, or the response from the Democrats, was so bad that it was also in many ways just as bad. Yeah. So we're all just so frazzled.
We're traumatized.
We're all suffering on a political level, personal level.
And from the pandemic, that ruined my fucking life.
Everything. And so it's, we can talk pandemic,
Well, I think that's an important note actually, because no matter where you stand politically, everyone in America is traumatized at this point.
Everyone.
I think everyone is.
Yeah.
And so that's another reason to like try and create an atmosphere like this where people that don't necessarily see things the exact same way can sit down and be like, yeah, but really we want to help homeless people, and the answer is not tell them to fuck off.
And it's harder than just saying that, or even here, have some money.
Well, yeah, of course, there's a balanced approach to be taken. I feel like, as far as population concerns that we talked about, kind of we're joking about with the pandemic, I think the economic disparity that has fallen upon millennials and younger, those people aren't having children because they cannot afford children. And all their fucking moms are like, when are you gonna have a baby? That's not by Jay Leno. When are you gonna have a fucking baby? Hey, you ever heard about this? Hey, you ever heard about these people having babies? They're not having kids anymore because like for me, I'm a professional artist, of course, so I make dozens of dollars a year. Like, I had a vasectomy for my own reasons, but like, I'm so glad that I'll never make another person.
Hold on. You heard that first here, folks. You heard this first here. It's kind of like The Interview when they got Eminem to admit that he's gay.
Yeah, but this is like,
news. Ladies.
I'm clipped. That's why I don't jump on company anymore when they come over. You'll notice I haven't humped any of this furniture. I've really chilled out a lot. This is me more chilled out.
Kind of like my dog. I was wondering why you were so calm.
I'm very calm. It's like, Brian, did you ever see the movie Terminator?
Oh, yes, of course.
In Terminator, there's this human that is going to be born who's so helpful and impactful for humanity that our future robot overlords send back an assassin to hurt the child. Mine was sort of the opposite, where it's like, my kid's not going to be very helpful. Let's flip that right out of reality immediately.
My last official act as mayor of Longmont is to thank you, Andy Epler.
Thank you very much.
For saving us from future Eplers.
I will accept a dick-shaped key to the city as a gift from you, Brian, and thank you very much for offering
Have it made right up.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and you might want to laminate it. Because I'm going to really enjoy having that at many parties.
By the way, I'm not running again.
But I might. It sounds like a terrible job. I'm always looking for a worse job. Final notes, Brian. Any last thing you'd like to say?
No, just I love Longmont.
I know you do.
Keeping in mind, I'm not running again. Longmont is an awesome city. 90% of the problems we have is because Longmont is an awesome city. People want to move here. People want to live here. We care about each other. We care about people in need. We're diverse. We want to make sure that we try. Most of us really try to give everybody a fair shake, and so it's great that that's the source of our problems. Yeah. Because I mean, we really are an all-American city.
Yes,
and
we're like a fucking Norman Rockwell painting in this town.
And we are. And so when I say I can't make a difference anymore, a lot of it isn't because, oh my gosh, we're screwed. It's just that, some things are just out of my hands, And so Longmont's got a bright future. And what's great about politics is it's a pendulum,
Yes.
If the air gets too dirty, right, or the park gets too overcrowded with homeless people, or whatever, it swings back the other way. It might take a while, but we're pretty smart people. When we put our hand on the stove and it's too hot, we take it off and we turn off the stove, or we get something cooking on it. But we're rational creatures. So the best days of Longmont are ahead. Right?
I believe that
it is. And I was fortunate enough to play a very small part. My picture's on the wall, and 100 years from now, when somebody's looking at the wall, they won't even notice me. But I'm in there somewhere.
They'll wonder who the fucking mayor was during like the most historic pandemic of our time.
Yeah. So, but anyways, Longmont's great. Longmont is just awesome. I love Longmont.
I agree. I want to sort of put a little bit of a period on this talk about homelessness, because I feel like we talked a lot about the issue and not very much about the actual resources available to people struggling with homelessness or just in danger of not being able to pay their rent. Well, I'm thinking of the Hour Center. What are some things that we have?
So we have, you've got the Public Safety Department has what's called the Angel Initiative. So if you know anyone literally who has a substance abuse issue, they're a meth addict, they've got a heroin addiction, could be pills, you can actually go to the police department as long as as an attorney. If you have a warrant, don't go, Andy. But if you actually have a substance abuse problem, you can actually go, and actually the police will help you. They'll get you resources, right? If you are, you've got the Hours Center. If you're a Longmont resident, anyone can get a meal. Even if you're from outside Longmont, I have yet to see anyone not get a Longmont ID somehow in order to get a meal.
Yeah, they're not trying to tell you to fuck off.
And even then, we can't give you a meal, but here, take this brown bag and take a seat at our cafeteria. So very loving, very, supportive.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. You've also got you've got Hope.
Yes.
Which they started off as just basically a volunteer organization where they go off on snowy nights to make sure the homeless weren't freezing. Now they're organized, in doing things like, teaching skills and helping people find homes so I mean the list goes on and on and on. We have so many services here in town.
I just didn't want to focus on the problem and then not point at what we're actually doing to solve it.
No, it is. It's
we could do more.
We could do more. The question is, what do you do, right? And so
there's a certain Venn diagram that happens between morality and what is difficult.
Correct.
And there's a certain spectrum, right? And if it's in balance, I believe we could be doing more and not really feel it pinch us that badly as a community.
And I would agree with you. I would totally agree with you. So the resources are there. I'm not advocating we shut those off by any means.
Of course not.
But we've also got a veterans village, that we recently built for our homeless vets. Actually, we didn't build it; a private developer built it under the city's affordable housing laws. We've got tons, and all you need to do is call the city manager's office if you have questions and say, "Hey, where do I go for this?" They'll point you right to it.
I just know a lot of people in town will be watching this, and I just want you to know that if you are struggling with that stuff, we do have resources in town. I know we kind of focused on it the last few episodes.
Whether I'm the mayor,
call Brian's ass up.
Call me. I'll point you in the right direction.
Brian, God damn it! That's how every phone call starts. You have no idea.
If I we get one more phone call about the jackhammer construction outside a window, it's like I'll get right on it.
Build our city and fix our streets. Not so loud. Not so loud.
Yeah. There's a pothole on 17th. Where? Just on there somewhere.
So, last note, maybe. You were the mayor during a historic pandemic.
Yeah.
And that's something that our community will be talking about for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And fucking tough time for the shitty job. That's a fucking, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But one of the things that did happen that I fucking loved was when we put those barricades out on Main Street and the restaurants got to have more patio space. Yeah. That was the super tits, dog.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah,
That's
good. Have you ever been to Rome?
Yes, sir.
Dude.
Yes, sir. I have been in Rome.
So,
I fucking love Rome.
Rome is awesome. So I went to Paris for 2 days and then went to Rome.
I did a very similar thing.
And then I went back to Paris and I'm like, what a miserable place.
It's a little ratty.
Compared
to full of rats.
Yes. So Paris compared to Rome is like a shadow.
It's different for sure.
So, I don't mean to Rome should be paying me right now, right?
Oh, look, I fuck Paris all day. I love you, Paris. Don't ever think I would say that.
Yeah, no. So, but in Rome, it's like they don't have Starbucks. You know why?
Yeah.
Because all coffee shops, are awesome. It's like, Starbucks is the shadow of Rome. Also.
Yes.
No,
yes.
so I forget what I was talking about, but yeah, I love Rome.
No, I fucking love Rome.
No, but say so. In Rome, you know how they'd sit on one side just to watch the view.
Yeah,
it looks like a stadium seating on the sidewalk.
Totally.
It's like, so I'm all for that.
Me too.
I wish that we had that type of culture here, where you just go, let's go sit down and talk with our friends and family.
Yeah.
Over a good meal.
Yeah.
Actually, no, not a healthy meal, but a good meal. Pastries, pizza. It's yum.
We're not saying bad shit about you, Rome. We love it.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was a great idea.
It did feel very European, and it felt like it did lend itself more to seeing your friends when you're walking up and down the street and people bringing out dishes. It felt more community community. It felt like a Longmont thing.
And it would
to
be,
me.
and there have been all kinds of, for the 10 years I've been on council, there have been talk about shutting down Main Street,
Yeah.
turning, the streets, Kim Mark and Collier into one-ways.
Yeah.
I
I don't like that idea.
I don't either. But you got the park. You take away the parking spaces.
It's a problem.
People come. It's only a problem because how far will you walk in Boulder? In Rome, how far did you walk, brother?
Many,
Right?
Yeah.
Longmont, again, we live in a great town. We don't want to walk a block.
That's an American thing.
Meaning,
for sure.
all you have to do is park a block or two away and walk.
Yeah.
But we want to park in front of the restroom. So it's just culturally, Americans are so used to demanding what they want and expecting what they're demanding right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a fast food culture or what, whether you're a politician, development,
car culture.
restaurants. We complain about all the effects and consequences, but we want everything right now.
And we don't want you motherfuckers start driving like you're in Paris or whatever. Jesus Christ, the drivers in Paris are insane. They all want to die. They all want to die. And they live in such a beautiful place.
I have no comment on Paris on that.
They all are suicidal.
I just pointed out, case in point, another example. I love you, Paris. I hate you, Paris. It's like it's the same thing.
I love you and I'm terrified.
And I'm sure that you were just doing that as an example of my earlier comment of how we seem to be just
correct,
incongruent in our actions and thoughts.
So I wonder if there's a balance to be found, because the government's gonna put us back in quarantine again. I completely believe that. I'm not sure why they'll do it. Maybe it's the terrorists.
I hope
maybe
not.
The air quality.
I was the first one. So sooner or later, not everybody, but 95% of us are done with the masks and quarantine. We'll put them on, but man, we hate it.
We're emotionally traumatized.
I am proud to say I was the first person to say, I'm done. That was about 2 seconds after it was started 18 months ago. I can't handle this.
I fucking hated it too, but I'd do it or whatever. I'm a good community member.
So it's I hope not, because
can we make a little friendly wager?
We can make a wager if you want. I hope not.
But I'm betting on quarantine the next 6 months.
But the reality is though that after Delta there will be another variant.
Yep.
So this is an example of what I mean, right? And I'm just going to pose a question. I'm not going to say what you do about it.
I may not have the answer.
Because if I speak too much, the paper says I'm a crazy uncle. And if I don't speak enough, then I'm accused of
you're being silent in a historic moment.
Oh my gosh! I want to take medical care away from the Weld County residents because I'm so duped into believing COVID is going to kill us all. The question is, if it doesn't go away, okay? If it doesn't go away with masks, it doesn't go away with lockdowns, it doesn't go away with the vaccine. If it just never goes away, right? How are we going to choose to live our lives?
We won't have to tell grandma to go to bed anymore. You know what I'm fucking saying?
And you know what? And so, for example, I don't know what that is. I don't think I want to laugh at that.
Because it's going to kill grandma. That's what
I'm not running, but if I was, I would probably leave now.
It's going to kill grandma.
Nanny, you just keep listening.
She's asleep. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's. I think that there's a lot of people out there that think that we should do something because they think their actions are going to change things, and they're wrong. Some of our actions will change things. And then you have
the right actions, of course.
Yes, and then you have the people on the other end, which are nothing's going to stop it, so let's don't do anything.
Yeah, let's try and make money off of the asteroid impact.
Again, and so what's happening is you've got the unthinking progressives, the unthinking conservatives, all out there on social media telling the world, well, this is science.
Yeah.
And none of them know what the hell they're talking about.
That's
and the rest of us
are unthinking.
And so the rest of us are like, better wash my hands. Stay 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Indoors, let's think about wearing masks. Yeah. And then beyond that, what do we do? Because we can't shut down society.
No, that didn't work great.
And so when I said certain things before that I got in trouble for, I was just saying, lock me up for 8 weeks, but why? Yeah. Why? It's going to be here in 8 weeks. Why are you locking me up?
And don't just lock me up, tell me to go fuck myself. Send me a check or something. If you're sending me to my room when I didn't do anything wrong.
And so back when I resisted going in lockdown, my whole point was let those of us who are young and can work continue to support the rest of us. Because in 8 weeks, who we kidding? It's still going to be here.
Yeah.
And here we are 18 months later, and nobody's yelling and screaming. I was threatened. I got a call from a very certain powerful politician saying, you need to resign based on your comments on COVID. I told him I said a bad word, to go visit himself.
One of the ones that I like. Probably.
Maybe, I think you like this word.
Probably
But my
do.
point was that nobody's demanding I resign now because here we are not wearing masks. Why don't you wear a mask for the show?
We're all vaxxed up, so I wouldn't have to.
Exactly, but the vaccine, we can have breakthrough transmissions. We can give it to other people. It's like there's just so much information out there. You can only do your best, right?
Yes.
And so
I agree with that.
And the anti-vaxxers and not the pro-vaxxers. I'm a pro-vaxxer, but
me as well.
But beyond the pro-vaxxers, like the people who like judge and hate the anti-vaxxers, right?
It's tough not to get frustrated with stupids.
I get it, but the reality is, if everyone would calm down and actually calm down, take off the blue and the red patches, and think, okay, let's just think about what would be best here, right? All right, I'm going to avoid people for the next year. I'm not going to get vaccinated. I can respect that, right?
I guess.
I need to go to work and support my family. I need to help run the city. I better get vaccinated.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're also judgmental towards everybody, and it's really not helping anything.
I kind of agree with that. I definitely feel like if the anti-vax people are right and the vaccine is some strange poison and all the vax people are going to die, I'm pretty happy with that outcome. Because I don't really want to hang out with the anti-vaxxers. I don't want to be stuck on this planet with a bunch of anti-vaxxers.
And so those of you who I know that are anti-vaxxers, I don't
want to hang out with you. You seem great, but like not that close.
So my point is, Mr. Epler,
yes,
that I think that there are a lot of crazies out there, but it's a spectrum.
Yes.
Right? And if we would all just do our best, not follow our ideology, but just think, calm down, not think tribally, and do our best, and admit that we're in for the long haul and do what we need to. Like for example, I have not seen my mom or dad except for twice, on their porch on sunny days, like 12 feet away, as a heart transplant recipient. And so it's obviously lethal for them.
Yeah.
My mom and dad can't get COVID, right?
Yes.
So we're taking precautions.
Excellent.
Everybody else needs to do that too, no matter what it is. And so, but it's not going anywhere. If everybody maxed up, if everybody got vaccinated, I don't know if that would. I mean, it would make a difference.
I don't know either. It would, of course, make a difference.
But it's
I'm
gonna,
no doctor.
But we are also not going to be able to convince the anti-vaxxers. Well, no matter how much you yell, how much you scream, you're not going to be able to.
My sense of it is we won't be able to talk to them too long.
Well, I mean, except that most of them are going to get the antibodies.
And we hope so. Goddamn, we want everybody to live.
They're going to vote in November.
I hope everyone votes. God damn it, I want you to vote, even if you're one of the stupids. Brian, thank you very much for coming on my little show.
Andy, congratulations on your show.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the vasectomy.
Thank you very much.
And there's nothing like surety moving into the future.
Yeah, it's not a great hobby, but it's a good one.
You know what? And next time, and if I ever want to do away with you, I'm just going to put a red shirt on you. Because in Star Trek, it's that boring. You just slap a red shirt on somebody, they're dead. And the other thing is, all it is a commercial. Star Trek, you know what it is?
Oh, yeah.
If you're in power, it's okay to fondle, harass, and bang whatever chicks in your vicinity. That's what Captain Kirk, sexual harassment. It's okay. That's
a lot of consent happening on that show.
And you also,
I'll hear you out.
You also don't have Jon Favreau.
Well, that's true.
Jon Favreau, you know what? Achoo! Oh, instant Christmas classic in Elf, right?
I agree with you.
Achoo! Started the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Achoo! Single-handedly saved Star Wars. So, I mean, you have nothing, man. I'm waiting for season 3 on The Mandalorian to come out, and I am waiting next week on What If, the new Marvel Cinematic.
Fuck yes.
We can't agree on that. So what I was going to tell you,
look, there's a middle ground here, and it's called Marvel.
Here's what I was going to say. That debate was so 4 years ago.
It was, but I don't forgive you.
No, that's fine. So Star Trek and Star Wars, as it stands now, they have a lot of work to do to regain my trust.
Fair enough.
But Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially with this whole timeline variant thing that's going on.
Come on, motherfucker. Yes.
I'm telling you right now, that means new actors. We are going to see X-Men Fantastic Four, the Avengers, forever.
Yes.
New characters, variant, baby. Just whip them out there. Hugh Jackman, bye-bye.
Yeah,
Wolverine,
I'm afraid so.
variant. I'm telling you, it's like,
I love this.
That's
Brian,
good.
I'm so glad we got to end on a positive note with each other.
No problem.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much for being on the show. And God damn it, don't sneeze on your grandma this week. See you next time. Easy enough.